Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion. Please abide by AFTERBIRTH Plus. We're kind of rolling. 7 wins in a row. You can't complain about that. That's a week's worth of free victories. KMBM, GQ, JZ. Honestly, JZ I should say. I got a level with you. Oh my Lanta. I still have to level with you, though. This is one of the most average starts you could ever ask for in terms of stats. HP is probably a little bit, like, the slightest little, just a wafer-thin smidgen below average. Everything else, though, kind of in a pretty average range. You know, speed is around 1. Tears are around 10, damage is around 3. This is the kind of run you can't complain about. The kind of run you could set your watch to. The kind of run that in the 1930s the whole family gathered around the radio to listen to and everybody left with a smile on their face. Mind you, it's actually a little bit stronger than average, I think, because of Krampus's head and also Explosivo, so please just ignore everything that I've said. Who are you? Dingle on a tiny room? Well, welcome to die. We will just take Jesus Juice. I think maybe, I don't even know if this is how it works. But if you get a reroll machine, and this is like a myth of Isaac that if I wanted to know the answer, we've had ample opportunities to test. But still, the best time to ask a question is, 20 years ago. The second best time is today, right? Doesn't it reroll all items not in the room if the reroll machine is in the center of a different room? I don't know, because otherwise why would there be a reroll machine here? What are the odds we would get a random reroll machine, which is like a 1 in, I don't know, probably 250 shot, combined with anything that allowed us to get an item pedestal to spawn there? Yeah, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. It's garbage. Can it? Get me out of here. D10. Look, it's not what we want. I'm sad I wasted a bomb there. That bomb, it could have gone on to be anything. You ever hear the story about the guy, started with a pencil, traded it in for a house? You can start with a bomb, blow up a tinted rock. You blow up the tinted rock, you get a bomb and a key. You use that key to get into the item room. On the item room, you get pyro. Now you got 99 bombs. You use those to find the secret room in the second secret room. What happens after that? I don't know. The world's your oyster. Now that's an item. I will tell you. Look, it could have become this, dude. I will tell you, I hate that story. It's a perfect example. You guys know what it means to break the curve? That's when, like, your teacher gives you an exam for you to write, or take, sorry, I forgot which one offends my American audience. Writing an exam, everybody goes, writing an exam? What the heck is even that? We don't even want this yet, just work with me on this one. Taking an exam is the preferred nomenclature, courtesy of the red, white, and blue. But anyway, it's like when your teacher gives you an exam, and the exam is too hard for 25 out of the 26 people in the class, and then you go, oh, don't worry, she's gonna curve it. She's gonna curve it because it was so difficult. But then one kid in your class whose dad, works in the exact field that this course entails, blows the whole freaking class out of the water by getting a literal 100%. On an exam where if you take their outlying statistic out, the rest of the class average like a 55. Wow, 2 bombs for a single penny, huh? That's where we're at? This is the world we're living in? Well, that dude who took a pen and then traded the pen for a stapler and then traded the stapler for, a 1965 Pontiac Thunderbird and then traded the Pontiac Thunderbird for a double-wide trailer home and traded that for a McMansion in the suburbs of Cincinnati. He blew out the curve on every other deal ever made in history. Now you can't ever talk about negotiation without mentioning that guy. And I guess, you know, it worked out very well for him in that sense. Not only did he get a house, but he got the endless marketing power of the art of the deal. So you know what? For that, we salute him, I suppose. Although I will say, he's ignoring the cost of his own labor. Sure, he started with a pen and he got to a house, but I bet there were a lot of days where he struggled there. Because until you get the house, you're not really realizing any gains, you know? It's like holding gold. You know, if you... Oh, baby, hold on a second here. I still don't think I want sacrificial... Well, you know what? We could... No, we can't. So why even buy Ghost Baby? This is a good question. Can we? I can't risk it. He's risked it. Look, the number one thing you need to know about me is I'm only a coward when it serves me. Wow, we really had one spirit heart left. That's crazy, dude. I will pretend to be a coward. Or I will pretend to never be a coward, is what I mean to say. But sometimes, you know, I mean, cowardice and caution, it's like getting correlation and causation confused, right? Anyway, it still is it's a dangerous time, but our DPS is out of control now. I bet there were days when that man was turning, oh, that's a great little sweep of potentiality for us there. I bet there were days when that man was, he was trying to trade like a 1986 Michael Jordan rookie card for like an air conditioner wall unit or something like that, where he was like, man, screw this. I just want to go work at the bank. This sucks. You know how narrow my consumer base is? It's like, I am searching for somebody who desperately needs a Michael Jordan rookie card and has a surplus of air conditioners. That's like a 1 in a billion shot, dude. I gotta find the exact perfect person for this. Oh, don't walk on that. It's a scary time. Anyway, but the important thing is that it all worked out. He ended up getting the house out of it. I feel like if you were the person trading, I know that it's meant to demonstrate like two things, one of which is kind of like, you know, the efficacy of salesmanship. The other one is like, you know, it's not like somebody traded a house for a pen. I'll admit that. But still, don't you feel kind of punked if you're the person at the end of that? Like, if you're the person who traded him, you know, he gave you 10 kilograms of coconuts and you gave him a pair of new sneakers, you don't feel like, you know, you got grifted. But if you're the person at the very end who gave him a house and made his story go viral, I bet you're kind of like, man, I should have waited. I shouldn't have traded for 3 years free movies. I should have waited until he got like a lifetime of free flights on Delta or something like that. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm spitballing. It's just a weird story and I like it. So Krampus' head, no disrespect meant, but see you later forever. We'll hold Joker, but to be honest, the Hematemesis pill could work really well on this floor in conjunction with the Joker card if we find a second secret room and that second secret room contains Demon Hearts or Spirit Hearts. We can get a lot of great stuff done there. There's another, well, I mean, hold on, I got ahead of myself in my own dialogue tree there. There's another story, right, about a guy who took Pepsi points, and then he kind of scammed the Pepsi point system and managed to get, I mean, I say scammed, it's not really like he was doing anything illegal, right? He just found, like, a loophole in the system that was basically like, hey, if you can buy things, here, well, let me put it this way, the way I understand it, he basically was able to distill the exact value of a Pepsi point down. And of course, it's like, you know, a Pepsi point, which is, and now I've got to go backwards even more here, but allow me, please, because this could be good. A Pepsi point was like, when I was a child, it was a promotional thing, almost like McDonald's Monopoly, which turned out to be a real scam for a long time, weirdly enough. However, you bought Pepsi, you looked under the little plastic thing in the cap, which was nearly impossible for a child with, you know, small fingernails to actually pry apart, and you'd be like, oh, cool, 250 Pepsi points. Anyway, you know, you could redeem them for prizes that, the same as prizes from, like, any other food establishment, right? You know, or any other food product. You could win a Jeep Liberty, a GMC Cherokee, a trip to Cuba. Well, probably not, I guess, in those days, but, because it was an American thing to begin with. But, you know, a trip to the Caribbean. So you could actually theoretically distill the value of a Pepsi point down to a numeric value of, like, you know, 0.03 cents or something like that. And then, if you really went the extra mile, I guess there was a little bit of arbitrage, you know? You could, then this gentleman, who I believe his story went on to inspire the Adam Sandler, Paul Anderson movie, Punch Drunk Love? Sorry, it took me a second there I was like, Paul S. Anderson? Paul W. Anderson? Because there's like 2 Paul Andersons, and one of them is the Resident Evil guy. And one of them is they're both directors. One of them's the Resident Evil director, the other one is, I'm not even going to hit you with the classic little switcheroo there, but one of them's the Resident Evil guy, the other one is the, Punch Drunk Love, Joaquin Phoenix, Inherent Vice guy. Paul Thomas Anderson, that's his name. Thank you, Brain. We gotta be just a little cautious here. Like, that's helpful and nice, don't get me wrong, but there is a degree of spice inherent in this run right now. Inherent spice. Look, it had to be done. No deal. HP. You love to see it. What do you do now? Look for that second secret room, I suppose. I mean, things are just a modest degree of spice. Just the slightest spice. Do you think this is a regular secret room? No. Okay. I could have told you that. Then I think the second secret room most likely is going to be here. Okay. Hooah! Anyway. Where was I going with this? I don't really remember. Suffice it to say, get that money, screw the corporations over in their promotional schemes. I support it 1000%. Anyway, where are we going here? I think we'll go back to the shop. Was there a reroll machine in the shop? The only other, like, it's so nice for us if we could get hematemesis to work with a second secret room here. It's not possible. I think we should save our bomb, honestly. I really think we should save our bomb. I'm loving the stats here. Loving them, but I think we should save our bomb. Anyway, take me in. I guess we're just leaving. Well, you know, hold on. You're gonna let me get to 14 cents but not 15 so I can buy the blue map? Alright, I see how it is. We're gonna get a Deal with the Devil next floor for free. So as spicy as it is, I think it's worth using the Joker card. And then I think, okay, well, you know, I wasn't gonna take it, but when you give me that, how can I say no? And then this allows us to take hematemesis with us and move on. I really feel like I have more to go on with this. Oh, there's a little money there. How much do I care about blue map, though? Not enough, I think. What's going on with Pepsi? I have a genuine question for you. When I was a kid, Coke and Pepsi, at least in the mind share of being, you know, 12 years old, they were like neck and neck. If anything, Coke was kind of like your grandpa's, and we'll just take the sun here. Coke was kind of like your grandpa's drink. Pepsi was like, you know, for cool kids. It's got the swirly logo and the yada yadas. I feel like Coke is crushing it over the past, like, you know, decade or so. I see Pepsi, don't get me wrong. And if I'm in a restaurant, I'm not afraid. Sometimes on the internet people will make fun of you for drinking a diet soda. It doesn't bother me. I have been made fun of my whole life. It only makes me more powerful. If you were a real man, you'd just drink the high fructose corn syrup. It's really good for your testosterone levels. Anyway, hold on. You know what? I think we do want to do this. We got a serious damage stat here. He said fructose! It's fructose, I think. Anyway. Where was I going with this? Yeah, really, restaurant, you know, they'll hit you with the, we don't serve Coke, is Diet Pepsi okay? I'm always like, yeah. Like, you don't even have to ask, it's the same thing. I'm surprised, what happened to the Pepsi brand? Is it still doing okay? This seems like a job, to be honest with you, for Google Assistant. Pepsi versus Coke sales. Coke's market share has, in the past decade, Coke's market share has risen from 17.3% to 17.8%, and Pepsi's has dropped from 10.3% to 8.4%. Honestly, that seems like the kind of thing that, to you and I, sounds like very little change, but I'm sure if you're in the beverage industry where you're selling potentially hundreds of millions or even the billions of numbers of drinks annually, losing that 1.3% is probably like, you know, people are going home in cold sweats going, husbands and wives going, what's wrong, sweetheart? And they're going, I'm going to lose my friggin' job unless I can get people to buy our Pepsi instead of their Coke. It worked. What's wrong, honey? We're losing brand equity in the public minds from Sprite to 7-Up. 7-Up is killing us lately. No, that's not. No, Sprite's crushing it, right? I don't think I've heard anyone talk about 7-Up in a long time. Sprite is like, it's got an international presence. Anyway, I don't know. Honestly, I don't consider myself an aficionado of the soda scene. More of a sparkling water guy. I'll drink a Coke Zero from time to time. I don't know, I'm sure this is relatable, but it sounds bad. I buy soda in the same way that, like, sometimes I'll buy drain cleaner. I just feel like my throat is like a toilet. Don't take that out of context. Feel like my throat is, I'm like, oh, dude, it's not draining so well. There's a little bit of gunk in my throat. Better have a soda, said no doctor ever. But when it goes down, it goes like, and you're like, this is doing good stuff. I really think it's, yeah, the number one thing doctors recommend is, to have a drink that makes the flesh in your body go Anyway, I still do it from time to time. This is a big floor for us. This floor helped us out a great deal. Dank Depths 2 with time to spare. And a run that's got some greatness, and only the mildest bit of fragility. Look at that. But yeah, anyway, Pepsi points. What's the biggest prize? Oh, I don't want to curse the blind. It's a great Degas. What's the biggest prize you've ever won from a competition like that? Or a sweepstakes, because a competition is whatever, right? Like, if you're good, you're good. I mean, like, something completely random driven, more or less. I mean, to be honest, if you've won something big from, like, Roll Up the Rim or McDonald's Monopoly, you know, your odds of winning are basically a product of how much, you know, how often you go to the restaurant and what you order. So, like, I'm not trying to besmirch you. I'm just saying, look, it's my own desire to be pedantic and exactly as unambiguous as possible. You know what I mean? It's not exclusively luck, you know? If you won and you go to McDonald's 10 times a week, you're more likely to win than somebody who goes to McDonald's once over the course of the entire promotion. But anyway, I'm not trying to go down this road. I'm trying to think about what it is for me. This is worth it in my opinion. My parents told me a story. I have only a vague recollection of this. But at McDonald's, back in like the early 1990s, and they still do this, but they sold hockey cards really cheap at the store. I didn't mean to use my key there, but as almost kind of like a loss leader. So, you know, come into McDonald's, if you buy a meal, you can also get a pack of hockey cards for like, you know, $1. And there could be some really good stuff in there. And in one of my packs that I got a Patrick Waugh golden card. Which, you know, as a child, didn't really have much concept of... I mean, I still don't, honestly. We would have been better off sucking up the magnet, but... I didn't have any concept of rarity or whatever. You know what I mean? Hold on, this is an important moment for us. I can live with speed here. And somebody, and this, again, this is hearsay from my parents. Somebody in line that saw it apparently was like, hey, kid, I'll give you $90 for that card right now. And my parents said, no deal. Which is actually, I think, pretty sensible. And they were proud of themselves for saying no deal. Because, like, you know, turning $1 into $90 is, that's a tempting return on your investment for sure. But they don't want to be like the part of the story where this dude is going around talking to his other friends and going like, check it out, I bought this $300 card for 90 bucks, right? And they told that story for years. They still tell it as if they won. I looked it up the other day. And by the other day, I mean like literally 11 months ago. And the card is worth like less than $1. So, what's the moral of the story? There is no moral of the story. The moral of the story is, you know... I mean, I don't know what the moral of the story is, because to be honest with you, I don't know. Maybe in the heyday of, you know, hockey cards and also Patrick Waugh's fandom, and also, you know, while the event is going on, people are, like, more excited about it. It might have been worth 250 bucks. The moral of the story, here's my take on it. I have a real moral to this story. If you are a parent, don't buy your kids toys and knickknacks and collector's items based on the idea that they're going to be worth something later. We grew up with a myth. And I feel bad mostly for my parents, because I think, you know, my parents were... I mean, they're doing fine, by the way. But, you know, I feel bad that they've been lugging around all these sports cards and action figures for, like, nearly 30 years now. And they keep trying to give them to me. They keep going like, hey, we got your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures, Slugger. When are you going to pick these up? And I'm like, never. Those are your property. I did not buy them. Those belong to you. They're in your name. Anyway. You know, I think they grew up in an era where, you know, the sports cards were popping off. And they thought, well, you know, sports cards are a little expensive, but if we buy our kid, you know, sports cards, and then, you know, he ends up getting a Jaromir Jagr rookie card, you know, in 10 years, that card itself could be worth $1,000. You know, he might be able to pay for his college just by selling the cards. I can't speak for all industries. I know, like, you know, basketball cards are kind of popping, because I think that people actually care about the personalities in basketball a lot more than they care about the personalities in hockey, where every interview is like, we got to go out there and play our game, get pucks in deep, give 110%, etc., etc. Just roll them. But, yeah, hockey cards are worth, like, not very much. That's not to say they can't come back. Like, you know, the market is weird, dude. All sorts of things skyrocket in value. Remember, like, 3 years ago, what was the hottest ticket item? PlayerUnknown's red bandana on the Steam marketplace. People were flipping them. They were buying them at like $400 and selling them for $700. Why were people paying $700 for it? I'll tell you, it certainly wasn't because they wanted to wear PlayerUnknown's battle bandana in a PUBG match. Is because they thought, hey man, if I buy in at $700, could be worth you know, $1,200 a month from now if the growth continues. We're not gonna become Guppy, so I'm just gonna straight up reroll that one. And to be honest, I think Book of Shadows is a nice way of hedging our bets right now, even though I do like the straw as well. Can you just let me go? Like, we're just wasting each other's time with this? I don't know. Different people, they have different priorities and tolerances for risk and stuff like that, you know? Like, we've been going through it, because, well, not going through it, but, you know, in case you're not following the markets, the stock markets are way down recently. At least recently, yeah, as of the time of this recording, as a result of you know, not just the perception of coronavirus, but also reduced industrial output and, you know, the economic effects of that combined with political instability and, you know, so on and so forth it's a turbulent time. So I was like, this is what I've been waiting for. It's time to get in. And then, you know, it's been like a week since I had that, and all I'm thinking about is like, yeah, but what if I'm catching a falling knife, dude? What if I'm getting in like right as it looks like, oh, it's just a little dip, but then it's like, nah, this is the start of like the 2008 recession all over. Anyway, I'm not really soliciting financial advice. I'm just kind of indicating where my risk tolerance is. And, you know, I've gone on record many times. I hate speculation. Not like speculating like what's going to win Best Picture, but I hate when people are like, you know, they buy something they don't need or even want just because they think that it's going to go up in value. Not stocks, really, more like, you know, Beanie Babies. But I guess, you know, there's an entertainment factor in it as well. Like, I'm just going to level with you. This is going to sound like I'm taking happiness from human misfortune. I mean, I guess in some ways I'm taking happiness from the misfortune of one person, but that one person was also trying to, you know, bilk dozens of people out of a disproportionate amount of money as a result of a worthless asset, you know, where the only thing that was surrounding it was hype. You know what I mean? So I'm actually, I know that like the PUBG item market has kind of crashed a lot. I'm betting there are probably people on Steam that lost tens of thousands of dollars trying to speculate on that market. And honestly, I think that kind of owns. If you think that that's rude, I see it the same way that's like, you know, people who buy, they use bots to buy concert tickets, like when they go live. And, you know, they don't want to buy 100 tickets to go see My Chemical Romance, but they know, hey, if I buy the tickets at face value, there's so much demand for this, that just by, you know, having and hoarding so much of the supply, you know, I can make a ton of money. But what did you actually... Like, I know this is very rich coming from somebody who makes entertainment for a living, but, like, what value did you add to society and into the world by using an algorithm to buy up a bunch of tickets and then artificially selling them, you know, for, like, triple what you paid for them, despite the fact that you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. I'm sorry. Now, at the same time, there is a valid argument to say, like, yeah, but that's just, like, that's how it is. It's true. It is true. It is how it is. But all I'm saying, somebody invests their life savings into a business that is like, you know, we're trying to revolutionize the home nursing industry, you know, and then it goes bankrupt, you go rip, F. You tried something noble, it didn't work out, but you had great intentions, I feel for you. If somebody's like, I invested my life savings into, you know, buying Yeezys the second they drop, using an algorithm, and then flipping them on StackX or whatever that site is called, I'm like, well, you know, I'm sorry, but I don't feel as bad for you as I feel for the person that was trying to, you know, help. Now, what if your business is a YouTuber and a Twitch streamer goes belly up? Well, I have sympathy for you, but I don't think a lot of people would. I'm in the mix with you. So I understand. I'll hit you with a little... I'll slide into the DMs with a rip and an F and a let me know if you need anything, dude. Everybody else is like, well, time to get a real job, forehead. I understand. Hey, man, I know how it is. It's just my 2 cents. I mean, the reason I'm so annoyed by speculation is because we live in a... I mean, it's happening all over... I can't speak for the world, I guess, but it's happening in a lot of major cities and also, like, literally all over North America. But, you know, housing prices have gone up substantially in, like, you know, basically every single year in which I've been a legal adult. Except 2008, I suppose. And probably 2009, but... Anyway, I digress. But, you know... The average price of a single-family detached home in Vancouver is still like over $1 million. How much of that is actually driven by like the value of the land and the value of the materials and the labor required to produce it and the location and yada yada yada, and how much is people that are like, well, looking at industry trends, you know, if we buy it for this, historically, if we stick to the historical average, in 5 years we can sell it for, you know, 11% more or something like that, without having literally done anything at all, except paid, you know, Canada's lowest property tax value over 5 years, while constantly complaining about it all the time. So that's why it annoys me. That's why speculation annoys me. Maybe it doesn't annoy you. Maybe you're like, it's sick. Maybe you're like, it's really cool that people are out there buying up all the hand sanitizer in response to the market conditions created by coronavirus, and then, you know, flipping it on Amazon for $15 an ounce. I think that's very uncool, and I think most people agree with me, but, you know, the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you might not be right for some. This is just a truly terrible haul here, but we should still be okay. Wait, whether or not I should have taken Hemolacria, it is what it is, right? Here's what I'm hoping for. Don't get me wrong, I love having Book of Shadows, but I think blank card combined with a rune bag gives us the gas. I don't think there's much that could stop us in that regard. If we get, you know, like Algiz, if we get Onsus, we'll just pop it once, right? But if we get Yera's probably not going to matter, but, you know, honestly, we should take our own advice here, and we should use Yera in a way that gets us more HP instead of more items. One Spirit Heart is worth way more than like a 10% Tears Up right now. If we get the chance, that is. Just pop this. I mean, I'll take a Red Heart, dude. That would not bother me at all. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? The invincibility is nice, but, you know, we got other priorities, too. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I'm not really mad that people, like, you know, the same that I said there were people that lost tens of thousands of dollars. There might have been people that made hundreds of thousands of dollars flipping PUBG items. Now, do I feel bad for the people that paid too much for them? Not really, to be honest, because they're also buying into the speculation and trying to flip it. Probably. I feel bad for the one person who was like, oh my god, that PlayerUnknown's bandana is the greatest thing I've ever seen. And then they're like, rip, the only way to get it is to pay this much for it. But I've got no choice. Like, I feel bad for that imaginary person. But in terms of, I don't know. I mean, a fool and his money are soon parted, you know what I mean? So yeah, basically I'm just blaming everybody. That's pretty much what it comes down to. But really, this is one where the grifters and the grifted are really one and the same, right? All trying to profit off of speculation of a digital coat. Hey, PlayerUnknown, when are you going to get into the fashion industry? When am I gonna get in the fashion industry? Have you seen this coat? All right, fun win. Fast win. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!